Okay, so I think this is going to be a pretty interesting beer comparison, at least for me. And the reason is, I have one of my favorite beers here, Hofbräu, 5.1% ABV and brewed in Munich, Germany. And Weihenstephaner Helles. Now I've reviewed or compared various beers from Weihenstephaner in the past. Their original premium, which is, I believe, a counterpart to this. This is the Hofbräu original. The original premium is classified as a Helles. It's 5.1% ABV. Comes in a blue bottle, or a bottle with blue colors similar to this. You know, one time I went to the store meaning to get one and I actually picked up the other. Weihenstephaner also has Fest beer, and it has a Pils that's available in the U.S. and might have some wheat beers available too, but I really don't drink those too much. Well, I saw the Helles, and I said, okay, I'm going to compare this to Hofbräu. Now, I did Hofbräu, this one here, to Weihenstephaner Premium Original, or Premium Lager, whatever you call it, Original Premium. And I think Hofbräu came out on top. Now, I did Weihenstephaner Pils and compared that to Weihenstephaner Original, and the Pils came on top. On Beer Advocate, this is rated at 93, and the Weihenstephaner Original is rated at 91. So this is actually newer than the original, I believe. This came out, when did I see when it came out? In 2000, so I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But I did look it up before I came here, and I just can't remember what it said. So anyway, now we're going to try these. Now, at first I thought that the Weihenstephaner appeared a little bit lighter than Hofbräu, but I can't really tell. It does appear to be more carbonated, at least by the amount of bubbles coming up, and a tad bit more of a foam retention on the top. But that could be the way that I poured it too, because this came out of a can. Nice thing about cans is I think they last longer, because light destroys beer. And even though these bottles are dark, I guess even over time, light can still get in there. Especially the green bottles. I found out the green bottles that have been sitting around for a while, the beer inside starts getting skunky. And I thought it was just a European beer thing. Heineken, every Heineken I had always had a skunky taste to it. And a bunch of others that I had out of green bottles, they all had skunky tastes. But then, you get some that are fresh, they don't have that skunky taste. You get some fresh Heineken, it's not going to have a skunky taste or smell. Green bottles produce skunky beer after a while. So anyway, let's hope that I can mix these up. I don't know which one is which, because I don't want any kind of bias coming into this. Even though I don't feel like I'm biased, I really don't feel like I care one way or another which one I like better. But here's the deal. I'm going to drink each one of these beers completely and then decide which one that I would like to have another one. And that's how I decide which one is the best beer. So I don't know which one is which. I'm not looking at the beers either, just because I don't want any kind of information to give it away. It's got a nice hop and balanced malty flavor. It's good beer. A bit more harsh, maybe a little more bitter, maybe more, I don't know, grassy. I've used that term before in a previous review. I like this one at first. I would say that this one is more rough due to the carbonation. You can feel it, whereas this one is a little bit more smoother. If there's one thing I don't like, it's flat beer. But in this case, neither one of these I would say that are flat. This is a very drinkable beer. Maybe a tad bit more drinkable than this one. I just think the flavor of this one is richer and better in a side by side. Now, out somewhere I get a beer and it happens to be this, I'm going to think it's a good beer and I'm going to drink it and ask for more, probably. It's not a bad beer, but this one's better. So like I said, I'm going by which one do I want to drink another one of. And I'm leaning towards this one. But I'm not done. Things can change by the time I get to the end. If I had to guess, something buzzing around here, I'd say this is the Hofbräu and this is the Weihenstephaner. If I had to guess. Weihenstephaner claims to be the world's oldest brewery. It says so right here on the can. The world's oldest brewery since 1040. That's a pretty long ass time ago. It's now 2023. So we're looking at 1,020 years. 17 actually, 1,017 years. Supposedly they've been brewing this. But is it verified? I don't know. Whatever the case, it probably is a pretty old brewery. And I've been there. Last month, I'd say about 6 weeks ago, maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, got back from Germany and went to Munich for a day, and then went to some other parts of Germany, came back to Munich, and flew out the next day. And in that last day in Germany, went to the Weihenstephaner brewery, restaurant, and drank a beer or two. Our first day in Germany, we went to the Hofbräuhaus and ate and drank some beer there. Went to Oktoberfest, but didn't go to the Hofbräu tent. And the reason was, it's always crowded. It's too crowded. Now, if you do go to Oktoberfest, I recommend going early. As early as you can get there. That will improve your odds of getting a place to sit inside the tent. The first tent that we went to was Löwenbräu. And you might know that in the US as Lowenbrau. But in Germany, they pronounce it Löwenbräu, lion's beer. Now, what I wanted to do while I was over there was get some Löwenbräu Helles and compare it to Hofbräu and Spaten and Hackerschwa and some of the other beers that I've had that I can get here, because Löwenbräu isn't available here. At one time, they sold Löwenbräu in the U.S. I don't know if I told this story before on a video. I may have, but I think Miller had a contract with them. And Miller wanted a beer to compete with Michelob. So they got a deal with Löwenbräu. I think at first they imported their beer, and then they started brewing it in the United States, and well, I think they changed it, and it just didn't go over. Leave it to Miller to fuck something up good. But see, over in Germany, they got the purity law, which states the beer can only be made from water, barley malt, hops, and of course yeast, although yeast isn't mentioned, but you need yeast to brew it. Well, I was right. This is the Hofbräu. I just saw the marker that I have on the bottom of the glass to indicate this is the Hofbräu. I would say that Hofbräu takes this round. Although this is a pretty good beer. What I should do is I should get the Weihenstephaner Helles, compare it against the Hofbräu, because the Weihenstephaner Helles beat the Weihenstephaner original premium. So, but I haven't tried the Pils against that. Well, anyway, that's it. 12-minute video. Time to end it. Hofbräu wins another round.